Good morning everyone, oktabyte here, and welcome back to Let's Play Factorio! Okay, this time I'm kind of in a hurry because stuff is going to happen soon. People are going to get drunk and it's going to get really noisy. So I have to finish this early, whatever. It's still going to be almost the same amount of time since, well, whatever. This time we're basically tackling only minor stuff, I have to admit, prior to starting. Basically, we increased the supply situation, fixed some energy stuff, and I think we lay arrays for only a few things. Basically, that's what we're going to do this episode. It's not that much, but it's still important. Okay, now let's see. What did I do first? Well, first I increased the output of circuits out of the trains so that everything would run a lot smoother, which is nice. But in the end, yeah, basically because we ran out of them too often. Same with iron. This construction system requires tons of both of these materials. So, well, I increased the output, which is kind of stupid if you think about it for more than 2 seconds, because I forgot, well, we are still only loading that thing with a single strand of stuff. But well, I grabbed something like 1k of these blue research kits to get some research done. Well, I'm not actually sure if it was the 1k. No, we will drop in 1k later on. Simply because I need to get some stuff done. First, of course, researching the logistics robot speed 2, as every little bit of speed counts, since, well, whenever I need to deconstruct something, it's a lot nicer if they can actually get that stuff done. And well, if I actually decide to get myself delivered with stuff, it's going to be a lot better. Then I started including a new part of the loop, just to notice, well, I don't want to remove all of these trees. So, well, I added a few more things in, added some lights in the middle of the track, like I always want to have. That's something I will extend to everywhere, that we have these interconnected huge poles between the two tracks. That's something I like, especially since you can place 4 lights around them and it looks great, and at night you can see where you're traveling. Then I did grab a few more materials to get the robots extended, simply because, well, as I said, I dislike building or removing trees manually, so I just grab them and throw them down. And yeah, then I did run around a little bit, grabbed a few more research kits, repair kits, in case I need them at some place, and refilled a few of those, I think. Well, if not, I just checked on that. And then we did extend this system. It's a bit awkward to place these things, since another one was a little bit off. You can, as you could see, if you were looking very carefully, it's a bit awkward. I will probably have to tear down all robopods at some point again and rebuild them, just to make sure that they actually overlap correctly, instead of these oddities that something smirks, some don't, and it looks really awkward. Well, if you're a perfectionist, that is, or have OCD or something, which is something I wouldn't recommend watching my videos then. I like stuff to be slightly off at some places, but with the robot pods, it's kind of annoying. In these games, it's annoying. In some other games, it's nice, like Minecraft, for example. If you have this thing that's slightly off, yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, I didn't get to do that much in the previous days, since I got some work, and then I got distracted by seeing Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2 on Steam on sale, and I love those games on my Xbox 360, so I decided, well, since I don't have a monitor or something that has audio, I can't play with the Xbox 360 anymore, which is a bit odd, but whatever. So I sold those games again. Actually, the second one I still have. Too much fun, but it's such a waste of time, I have to admit. And then I'm not I'm too exhausted. I was too exhausted to continue with that, recording anything. And well, yeah, it's bad enough as it was this time. Okay, let's see. tons of drones going up and down. I really love seeing how how everything is deconstructed by these drones. There are still pretty few of them, which means I still have to extend the amount we get. At some point I want to have them automated, so that I can basically fill the robopods completely. Well, I wouldn't fill them completely by inserting it into the stations. That would be stupid. But because it's so much fun to see them flying somewhere if you just drop them into the air. Yeah, that's something I want to have. All robopods completely filled with either maybe one stack of logistics robots or two, and the rest with construction robots. That's going to be fun, and it's going to require tons of resources. Okay, next up, I needed to make sure that we don't actually lose any supplies with the coal stuff, since, well, the copper train ran out of stuff, which was kind of odd since I didn't actually want that to. I had the coal running right next to it, and once again I could see some issues over there. But first I noticed, well, there are very few circuits in that system, so I have to increase the loading speed, as that's not enough in the slightest bit. I need to increase the output a bit more even though then, but that's for now. Yeah, you can see we are unloading it with something like 8 unloaders, so yeah, that's not, we don't load that fast. And I might even need to extend the speed they are created. Okay, then I did grab a few more construction robots and sent them flying. Oh, that's so much fun to watch. I should probably speed that down. Yeah, it would be nice, but I will forget until the recording is over, and I don't want to have any cuts in the voice recording, as that's really annoying. Okay, and we are now draining energy, and wow, that's really, really loud. We'll have to see if I don't have to scale that down. Basically, we are running out of energy. Why? Well, we are not producing the light oil isn't fast enough, I think. So I decided, well, let's go with petroleum gas and disable the conversion, since we are currently filled with that stuff. So our supply situation isn't perfect. But even then, we still don't have enough power, which is one of the big problems we're going to tackle this episode. I think we increase it by 2 rows or something. Really need to get a second place going where I can do that stuff. I was thinking around where could I place that stuff, and well, I decided to go like this. I should have placed some speed modules in there, and that should hopefully help. Well, it wasn't enough. They were still producing everything they could. Yeah, I thought something was wrong with the water situation because those bars weren't completely filled, but they are never completely filled if you're using the max efficiency system. It's basically we ran out of, our capacity isn't high enough, which meant I really have to increase that stuff. You can see how much coal is inside that line, which in theory is only a backup thing, so it should never need the coal. But as you can see, something went wrong, since we are currently using every single bit of energy, and therefore I need to fix some stuff. I might actually switch to efficiency modules in some places, as we have so many speed modules everywhere that don't need them. There are some processes that take something like 0.5 seconds, and I speed them up unnecessarily, even though it's the supply that's limiting it, and that's just a waste of resources, more specifically energy. And we're barely building energy with the system we have, so I did grab a few more pipes to get ready and building to a new energy system. What I actually wanted to build was, by the way, a system for conveyor belts. I wanted to start creating the conveyor belt systems, but, well, it didn't work out. So, well, I added one more of these lanes in there. Tons of dead enemies, all over the place. Should really figure out the code again for how far the byte evolution is, but I would guess it's already 100% or 1 if you are going for the normal thing. And then I crafted tons of these circuits, even though they were basically unnecessary. Then, yeah, the typical setup for energy. If this weren't sped up, I would cut it out. And then I decided, where do I want to put that stuff? And yeah, I made sure that it looks similar to the other stuff. Connecting those things up, and now we got water again. Perfect. Next up, inserters, burner inserters once again. I could save some fuel by using electric ones, I guess. I still haven't checked that, actually. Really need to do that, though. Oh yeah, and we could probably run on wood for a while as well. That would be a nice idea. We're collecting so much of that stuff, why not create a second backup system that runs on wood? Should be pretty easy to do, and yeah, that should be pretty fun. Next up, throw everything in, back in from the defenses that I had to move. And since I know, it misplaced that first. So next up, connect that stuff, and now everything is running. Now we only need to actually get the water to the steam engines, and now we are overproducing again. Well, for now, since we're going to place down some robopods, which I built earlier. No, I actually placed them down already. Removing some more random trees, and the forest's gone. That's amazing. I love watching that. Tons of these robots flying to that one space and then making that stuff clean. Yeah, that was kind of awkward since the orange one matched and the green didn't. So I moved the first one over a bit to make it fit with the system again, and then the second one. And now everything should look a bit better. Now this is slightly off, but I didn't care that much this time. Connect the next step up, connect it to power. Once again, dropping down the lights, marking the trees for deconstruction. This time we barely get any trees in the system, which means stuff is going to be quick to clean up. And then extending the tracks. Once again, I wanted to go for a system that does the thing, tracks, no, conveyor belts. That didn't work out quite well, since, well, there were so many things getting in the way, so that I didn't have the chance to build that stuff. I'm not sure what happened next. Well, we will see again. So, yeah, I was checking how many different things do I need for the conveyor belts. I need iron, more iron, even more iron, even more iron. A few circuits for the advanced stuff and for the splitters, and even more iron for the tier 3s, which I didn't look up yet, but I know it's just even more gears, which require tons of iron. And then we need the fluid stuff, which I need to pump here, or I need to produce these at the other spot. But I don't want too much stuff close to the refinery, and well, we got overrun. So I knew, instead of building those tracks, let's grab some more turrets, since that position isn't defendable at the moment. Well, I went up there, grabbed a few more things on the way, especially crafting a few more of the logistics robots, so that they could actually fill me back up with everything I needed. And I stole a few more advanced circuits from the old system, since they were just lying around. At some point I really need to deconstruct the old system, as it's really ineffective and it takes so much time out of so much iron out of the system that I currently have, and so much time for the iron train. And it's not a circular system either, and that's really annoying. I need to figure something out. The same for the station's behavior. I need to have a circular system, that all stations branch off at some point and go back to the side of the track they need to, and then turn around, as we will have stuck trains once we switch to multiple trains for each system. And that's going to be necessary for some, like the iron train. I can't fill the iron train fast enough, or it can't carry enough for my demands. I need to have them loading iron all the time, basically, which means I need at least 2, maybe even 3 of these amazing iron trains. And yeah, it would be bad if I didn't have them. So, well, then I decided, well, let's build the arc again. This time we're a bit more defended. Build this circular structure is done. Once again, dropping some light inside, connecting everything up with the pipes, with the tracks. And then I added a little bit more stuff. And now the logistics robots are actually fast enough to deliver that stuff to me. And now everything is good. Yeah. And then I added a few more of these track thingies so that the light is a bit better balanced. In the end, I will need one more station, but I will probably fit it on the other side for the loading of the tracks, if I need them. I think I only need the basic tracks to be loaded though, since they are only used for research. The higher ones I only need to carry around, probably throw into some stuff. And then I noticed some iron there, which was really annoying. And once again, we don't produce enough energy anymore. I checked, well, we're actually using as much as we're consuming, which means, yeah, I need to change something. And whoop whoop, both trees are gone without me having to carry around the wood. A little bit of wood is almost good to have handy in case I want to, for example, start up a train or something. Okay, next up, logistics about carrying capacity. And since the energy system might run low, I increased the throughput of the that stuff. But that's still not enough. Once again, I was thinking something was wrong for a moment due to the water situation, until I said, well, I don't care. The water situation should be fine, so let's just craft all these steam engines and stuff. And that takes forever. I need to automate them. Absolutely. Especially since I'm using them all over again. Well, all over. I have one central energy system, and that's really bad. By the way, that reminds me on energy system in total. Usually you would have 2 huge systems for energy. One for your civilian stuff, and one like solar panels and stuff like that, and one that's only powering your your defenses, which is once your accumulators from that system run down, steam engines turn on, and they are used for laser turrets and stuff. That would be if you would build something with a real strategy. Yeah. Because if the civilian stuff goes down, what do you care if the mining goes down for a moment, as long as your other stuff doesn't get run down, like, for example, your turrets. If your turrets power down, you lose. It's as simple as that. And that's the reason you would want, in theory, to separate them. In this game, it's a bit different, though, simply because, well, it's unnecessary to do everything like that. The laser turrets always have priority, and if you have steam engines, they will run from the steam engines. Everything will basically power down, but the turrets will still run, which is great. Simply, yeah. They keep you alive. End of this thing. And that's basically also the end of the episode. See you next time, when we hopefully get anything done this time. So, see ya, and bye-bye.